Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to CDubbs Dubs. My name is Matt.
I'm CDubbs.
I'm Jordan.
And this is our third take, but whatever else. So today we just want to tell you before we get started, CDubbs, what do they need to do?
You can follow us by liking and subscribing at willinghands.com on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It's free.
Yeah, everybody wants, free stuff these days. So,
it's free.
So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the first 5 episodes of the new My Hero Academia anime, My Hero Academia Vigilantes.
My Hero Academia Vigilantes is a spin-off slash prequel of the main My Hero series. Anime adaptation is being handled by the same studio that does the main My Hero series, Studio Bones, and it is seemingly going to be taking the place of the main anime until Bones resumes the final season. It follows a group of vigilantes, people who operate outside of the hero system, with the main hero being a college student named Koichi, who has a quirk that really wasn't suited for hero work, Slide and Glide, a quirk that allows him to slide across any surface as long as he has 3 points of contact on it.
I will say, number one, the art style is very different in comparison to what we got in the standard My Hero Academia, because the My Hero Academia art style is pretty recognizable. However, though, in this one, they're a little bit more 3D modeling, and plus, it's like their skin textures look a lot more shiny, almost like they're dipped in oil. I mean, some of the heroes, they still keep their standard designs. You got, Aizawa, All Might, Endeavor, Lyrico, Midnight. Everyone keeps their designs. However, with the trio that we got, they definitely look, a very different from what we've seen. You got Nice Guy, aka the Crawler, who, has his, his All Might, memorabilia. You got Pop Step, with her with her uniform, and then you got Knuckle Duster, who has a a do-rag and some brass knuckles on him, and he's just a really buff looking guy. And I've noticed that parallel to what we got with Deku and All Might, Knuckle Duster and Crawler, they have a similar thing going on, but the thing is, Crawler is just there just to keep him in line, because the scene where he keeps going around asking people, hey, show me your tongue, show me your tongue, show me your tongue.
It's been a pretty good adaptation so far. I have read through a decent amount of the manga as it was being released in volumes in America, though I haven't completed the full run yet. But I do like the animation style. It seems to be a lot more artsy than the main series, and has a lot more of a darker atmosphere, since this series has a lot more nighttime scenery than the main series does.
One of the things that I immediately liked was the chemistry between all 3 of the main protagonists in the story. We know that this is still taking place years before Midoriya and them actually are in high school. So at this point, Midoriya and them are the little bitty kids.
Right.
The great part about it is we get to see someone similar to Midoriya, which is, in fact, he wants to become a hero, but he has this quirk that really he don't believe he can really do anything with it. But when you get to the 4th episode, you start to see the potential of his quirk being something that actually could probably make him into a pro hero or whatever else. Right off the bat, I love the characters, and I love Knuckle Duster. He reminds me of Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint. He doesn't have a quirk as we know at this point. He basically uses his fists of justice like Batman does. So he gives you the kind of Batman thing, but he drinks beer. He's always antagonizing Crawler,
right? And
it's really good. And then you have Pop Step, who's this pop star. It's a lot of, it has a nice comedy, it has a nice balance with characters and stuff like that.
One thing that did disappoint me is that her singing isn't dubbed in the English version.
Okay.
That's something that always tends to annoy me. I understand not dubbing opening sequences, but if it's in universe performances, especially since they did dub the performance in the one arc of the main series, the Culture Festival.
We seen in read with One Piece. Both versions, English and dub, sounds really good. But I'm always amazed at how they can take songs and just make them up in an anime, and they sound like it should be on a regular pop album or, you know, something like that. So I would agree with you. I was like, well, you know, everything's in English. Why didn't they do an English version of it? But I still like the rendition of the Japanese version.
Yeah, another comparison was, you know, we like a Dragon Ball, specifically Broly, and then, you know, Battle of Gods. You have the song by Hero, which was completely done in Japanese, playing in the dub version of Battle of Gods. But then the guy who did the Blizzard song, Daichi Mara, I think I'm saying his name right.
Okay.
He actually did a English rendition of his song for Broly. Like,
okay.
It actually does play in the dub credits. I guess it's like some like a licensing issue where they can't fully.
You know what that might be?
Yeah, like you can't fully translate a song. So there's also that factor.
I do also know sometimes it comes down to contract. Like I know, like the Miraculous Ladybug movie, which was originally made in France, they had a contract with the French voice actress where she would also cover the English version of the songs for the English release, even though Christina V, Marinette's voice actress in English, is also like a singer.
So we were forgetting about the whole business part of it.
Yeah. I believe it was also the same for Film Red, where despite the fact that Amelie is also a singer, the Japanese voice actress for Yuta had a contract saying that her songs wouldn't be like translated in the English version as a way to like promote her overseas.
There's royalty issue. She want to get paid. She want to get her money. So okay. Now that makes more sense. Why sometimes it's
and in both cases of those, the voice actress did like do like English covers on their YouTube channels.
Look at us talking about business.
So getting back to My Hero, what I did find funny was when Pop Tetsu fans, like, you know, the blatant reference to, you know, Jotaro and, you know, the Cyclops from the X-Men.
Oh yeah, I got that.
They were just duking out in like the corner, and then Crawler comes in and says, "Hey guys, you know, like, you shouldn't fight." And they go like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Yeah, I especially like how the Wolverine XP is actually really short, like Logan is in the comics.
Yeah, because Logan is super short in the comic books. You know what the other crazy part of? Before I forget, the villain with the B Court. If you notice when she's on the phone, that sounds like One for All. That's on the other line. Clearly, we know that from the very beginning, he's like. You know, she's like, but these three came in and they beat him. He's like, that's fine. We need data. Yeah. We need to see how this works against other heroes. But you can see some of the attributes of some of these villains, how he creates these monsters that are so tough in My Hero. The Naboo's, right? You can see it all unfolding right here. I was so glad to see Endeavor and all of the other heroes in that one fight where they came in fighting. I thought that was awesome. And then you see All Might, he's all young and he's, you know, punching
I
people.
am here and all that. Yeah. For me, I definitely would say it was episode 3 because that's when Knuckle Duster and Aizawa first fought. Yeah.
Now that was a good episode.
I wish we could see more of the fight, because you have Endeavor, you have Aizawa, who is basically rendered as one of the best hand-to-hand fighters. Meanwhile, Knuckle Duster, he's just like, you know, he's got hands for real, but you know.
Well, we see that when he's dodging the punches and he's timing it, he's showing that he has boxing skills. He's actually trying to teach the Crawler how to box, and he's like, no, I want to learn how to box.
In terms of my favorite episode so far, I would say I think episode 4 is my favorite just because of the whole Ingenium stuff.
Okay, yeah,
that was really like being able to see like what Ida's brother was like before his career-ending injury, and also seeing how he like acts like a secondary mentor to Kunichi. I also do like the fact that he is a lot more laid back compared to like how Ida is in the main series.
He's so serious.
Like, he's willing to bend the rules and allow these vigilantes and even mentor them a bit. While in the main series, his brother is like a major stickler for the rules.
He was like, you showed exactly 1 minute late for class.
Yeah. But I also did like episode 5, Judgment, as well, because it's like building up to like seeing the beginnings of one of the more iconic villains from the main series.
So and I purposely did not read the manga so that I can enjoy this. No spoilers for me or whatever else. So I'm literally blind at what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
If you enjoyed My Hero Academia vigilantes, not villains. Vigilantes.
We should have a villain spinoff.
You know, that would
I
actually
mean,
be a
to
good
be
one.
fair, in season 5, I think they were trying to do that because for like a brief time it was labeled as My Hero Academia villains, but then they only it only ran for like the last
My Villain
6.
Academia.
It would actually be nice because then we need some more backstories to some of these villains. If you like what you heard, tell us what is your favorite episode of, whether it's subbed or dubbed, episode of My Hero Vigilante. You can watch it on Crunchyroll, or us anime people, we find it some type of way. You probably can watch it on YouTube somewhere, whatever. I ain't saying it because I don't want my site to get blocked. But whatever you like,
we support the official release. Trust us.
we do. So, CDubbs, if they want to comment or whatever else, what do they need to do?
You can follow us by liking and subscribing at willinghands.com on Instagram and Facebook.